Meeting to order. Tonight, has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? I'll seek a motion for approval.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? None
Aye.
opposed. Okay. Moving on now to our minutes. We have our work session minutes from February 13th, our budget retreat, and our regular meeting minutes from February 20th. If there's no need for any amendments to those minutes, I'll seek a motion for approval of the three.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Excuse me. Moving on now to chairman's report. Just a reminder, you got an hour and a half to vote if you haven't already. If you're watching this tomorrow, it's too late. But a lot of good candidates. I know a lot of people are going to be excited tonight or disappointed either way, but it's been just a good campaign season. So, any other reports from commissioners?
No report tonight.
Yes, sir. Turn it over to County Manager Darlene Fox.
No report tonight.
Okay.
Oh, nobody signed up.
Nobody signed up. No one here wants to talk.
Not even Don?
Come on, Don. All right. Moving on now to new business and our project ordinance amendment. Ms. Fox.
I've got project ordinance amendment for the domestic peace facility project fund. Increase in construction of $542,168, $50,000 for land acquisition, and $107,832 in contingency. That will come from investment earnings, $300,000, and transfer from general fund from the ARPA revenue replacement funds. Then the next amendment is from the general fund, from designated for future appropriations and transfer to capital projects funds, the $400,000.
Any questions about these budget ordinance amendments? If not, is there a motion to approve these?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Letson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
The next item we have is the official certified bid tabulation for the Center for Domestic Peace project. The low bidder was R.E. Crawford Construction. The base bid is $4,555,650. The alternate number one, which was door hardware, $35,000, and alternate number two is the wood fence and entry gate. That's $271,296. The total for the project is $4,861,946. The recommendation from Clark Nixon is to award the bid to R.L. Crawford Construction, and I'd recommend that it be awarded and authorize the chairman to sign the contract.
Ms. Fox, how much money do we have total in funding for this facility from Dogwood and the county, and I guess plus the amendment we just did?
prior to the amendment, we had $4,678,279. And then,
That's 50/50. Yes.
well, the amendment made it a little bit higher than 50/50. It was originally 50/50.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there a motion to award R.E. Crawford Construction the bid on the domestic violence shelter?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
In a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Letson.
Yes. And I believe we had some people that wanted to speak a little bit tonight, so turn the floor over to.
I am Wesley Myers. I'm the Executive Director at Center for Domestic Peace, and I just wanted to come and thank you all tonight for getting this shelter and supporting the citizens of Jackson County and the victims of domestic violence we serve. Just today, we had a need for a shelter in Jackson County for 2 people, and they're going other places. We're taking care of them, but having this facility here would completely change what's happening at our organization and for the whole region. This is a huge benefit, and I'm so excited to see it going forward. I'm so thankful for you all, for making this possible and making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, without it, this is something you hope you never have to deal with, but the sad reality is it does come to light, and having this facility, knowing that you're going to have secure, safe housing is a win for everyone. And
Absolutely. And we have our staff and board. I don't do a ton, I sign checks and, make things happen. They do the really hard work, and Don has, been here the whole time pushing us forward too. So it's, recognition all that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Moving on now to our tax collection attorney agreement.
We have a attorney's fee and expense agreement for the Jackson County tax collection work for the tax foreclosures. Eric, you
Sure. Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to speak or if you were.
Well, I will, but you can.
I'll speak. Okay, so good to see y'all again. I'm Eric Ridenauer. We have been happy to be doing the tax collection work for Jackson County since 2011. We have been operating on that same contract since that time at $200 an hour. The last 13 years have had a somewhat little bit of inflation during that time, so we just asked for a bump up to $240 an hour. Our paralegal rate was contracted out at $75, and that's for the title work. We were going to bump that to $90. As a little bit of background, and this is Tori Smith. She's a lawyer in our office, and she's been handling most of our tax collection work here in Jackson County for the last year and a half. Since 2011, we've had 398 taxpayers pay after just receiving the demand letter. We've filed 282 tax foreclosure complaints during that 12-year span, and we've actually foreclosed upon, went all the way to sale of 118 properties. This year we've had 44 taxpayers, 2023 calendar year, not your fiscal year. We've had 44 taxpayers who received after receiving the demand letter. We've filed 32 tax foreclosure complaints in 23. We sold 10 at the steps. And then we've had 15 that were dismissed after filing the complaint, where they went ahead and paid everything. And when the taxpayer pays, whether it's during the pendency of the litigation, they still have to pay the attorney's fees. So it ends up that's a lien against the property as well. So technically, you get your money back on your dollars well spent. Feel free to answer any questions.
Is there by chance a dollar amount of the demand letters of foreclosures, one magic number, or is that, it'd be interesting to know how much money taxpayers have regained?
That one, we'd probably have to go to Brandy to figure that number out, just because I don't have that number with me. but it would be, yeah, it would be fairly substantial. When we first started out in 2011, to my knowledge, there had not actually been any tax foreclosure complaints filed by the county, as far as I know, in history. It was kind of looked upon at that time as something that was frowned upon and it wasn't good for getting votes if you're a commissioner and that type of thing, so just kind of ignored. So at that time, we had a whole bunch of really bad titles where heir property just continues to matriculate, and we've now got third and fourth cousins owning a piece of property, and they don't even know they own it, much less who their third and fourth cousins are. And so those were fairly complicated. Now we've got it under control. We first get demand letters after they're, what, 3 years maybe delinquent?
That's up to Brandy's discretion. She usually sends us batches of anywhere from 10 to 100 at a time, and we'll get batches out. And then based upon if we have interested purchasers, or depending on how valuable the property is, and we can collect up to 10 years. So typically when we're hitting that 10-year mark, we'll start to foreclose on the larger properties. But Brandy will push some as well that are larger amounts. So that's why it's hard to give a number, because it spans from anywhere. It depends on the property values and stuff.
And we do have, 10 years is the statute of limitations, so we can't collect taxes that are past 10 years. So all that stuff that was really old, you only get the last 10 years, and then it rolls off. So we do get those filed. Once we get it filed before that 10 years, then those continue to accrue.
Ms. Fox, for informational purposes, I agree, Mr. Rednauer, it would be hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'd say.
It would be.
And it'd be nice to have that number that we've spent
We can get that. We can get that number.
past since 2011. I was part of that group of commissioners that put this ball into motion.
Okay. We'll get that number for you. And that has helped get the tax collection rate up to the 99.36%. We want it better this year.
We could.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the request, if this is the time to do so, of increased request for the paralegal and for the attorney rate.
Is there a second? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Layton?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions tonight from the staff?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say, I want to thank Don Adams for all of his help on the domestic violence shelter. So you helped us through all that stuff, and we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody's help, but I appreciate you.
I'll agree with you, Commissioner Bryson, and also, this couldn't have been done without Dogwood Trust. Thank them very much.
Tonight, we do have a need to go into closed session for real property and legal. So, is there a motion to move into closed session tonight? A second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. None opposed? session. We do have a consensus to move forward on the purchase of 3 separate parcels for the county. First two being 7559-37-4133. Second being 7559-36-8557. These parcels have a total purchase price of $207,530, which is the tax value of the property. Additionally, parcel 7640-32-7788 at a purchase price of $610,000. Is there a motion to approve the purchase of these, or put under contract these 3 parcels? So moved. Mr. Chairman, is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Latson?
Yes. With no further business, is there a motion to close the journey?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. You're adjourned.